Molweni and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you my invoicing app that I use, how I invoice my clients. If you have any questions or if you feel there's something I don't cover in this video, please do let me know in the comment section and I will answer it. I use an app called Wave Accounting and I use it on my phone. I also use it on my laptop, so it depends on how I'm feeling or where I am at the certain time when I need to send an invoice. I can use the laptop or my phone. Unfortunately, because I am on Apple actually does not have an actual app for my Wave, so for me to use it I actually go into the www website. One of the reasons why I love my Wave app is because it's simple. It simplifies how I can invoice my clients. So one of the best things that I love about it is that I create a profile. So in my profile I can then have what is called, let me go down and just talk you through what the Wave app offers. So when I go onto my app, I have an overview first and foremost on my overdue invoices. So I can immediately see who are the people that I've quoted that have not come back to me, or the money that is still outstanding. It also allows me to add a customer, to add a vendor, to customize an invoice, or to invite a person to guest collaborate with me. That option I've never used. So you add a customer in that if I quote a person, just like I have a phone book, so I can link my Wave app to my phone book and pull the person's details onto the Wave app and send them an invoice. Should I need to send the person an invoice again, I can just go into my phone book on the Wave app and it will pre-populate other person's details. So once I have the person's details and I save them once, the details will always be there for me to carry on invoicing them for as long as they come back to me. The thing that I love about that is that you can customize the invoices. So my invoices are unique to me, even though there's a million people who are using the same invoicing app. So I can change the colors, I can change also the information on the invoicing, so my personal information, the business's information, addressing. I can put in contact details. I can also add in banking details, terms and conditions for my specific business, and I can also change the icon to be my logo, which mine is. So my logo is on the top right hand corner, and then I've changed the colors of the invoice to match up with my logo, so everything looks proper. This is now the cream. Like, this is why I'm a believer in Wave. It shows me an overview of how much money I have made over a certain period of time. So I can go into my app now. I obviously won't tell you, but I can see from August 2020 all the way to August 2021 a graph signaling or showing me when my money declined. This was definitely over December period because I don't work in December, and as you know, in January I did not work, so I went all the way down to a 0, and then from Feb everything starts to spike up, but then obviously it's just a steady flow because we're still trying to get into the motion of doing events. So this actually allows me to see that, oh wow, I actually am making more money than I was at a certain point in time. It also goes further down and actually does a profit and loss. So if you have an accountant like I have one, anytime I need to meet up with him and he wants to go over my books, one of the things that I can do for him is show him or pull a report from my Wave app, and this will allow my accountant to then see my report from my invoicing system and also compare it to my banking system. The reason why this is possible is because when I quote a client, I first send an estimate. So before I used to send a lot of quotes, and then what I found was at the end of the year I have so many outstanding quotes. I'd have like something ridiculous like 400,000 Rand of outstanding invoices that I know will never be paid because once I quote to the client vanishes. So another thing I love about the Wave app is that I can actually send a client an estimate before I send them a quote. So I'll send an estimate to a client for 10,000 Rand for whatever event that is. I send it to the client. It's also efficient. It looks proper. And if the client then sends to me, Lwando, I'm happy with it, I would like to make a payment, I send them the banking details. When they've paid, it's either I will send them an invoice, it's either I'll send an invoice after the client says, I accept the estimate, I'd like to make payment, I send them the invoice. Sometimes if I'm still a bit skeptical, I'll only send banking details to the client, and only once I've received payment or a booking fee, I then convert from the phone or from my laptop, I convert the estimate quote into a quote. So it goes from an estimate to a quote, which then, again, remember, I already have the client's details. It just pre-populates everything into a quote form. Then I send it to the client. This time when I send a quote, it has banking details. Once the client pays, immediately when the money reflects, I go into my quote and I actually have the ability to put in cash payment. So every time the client pays me, I go into the quote and I say amount received ... on the said date. For each payment, the app also allows me to send a client a receipt. So I actually look very professional to the client, but needless, they won't know that I'm just using my phone. So I go from an estimate to a quote then starts converting into payments, and then I record all these payments. Each payment has a payment receipt that I send to the client, and once the client obviously is paid up in full, I send them an invoice that says so much amount paid, and I also send them the final receipt that says so much amount is paid. Now there are clients out there who want invoices, especially corporate clients, so again I use the same thing. I send an estimate. If they confirm and accept the estimate, I then could send a quote. Once they confirm the quote and they want to make payment, the client will then say, please send me an invoice. I can further... Oh, guys, these airplanes won't let me be great. Itansi Lind. I couldn't even see the damn thing. Anyways, so once the client then says, Lwando, I received your invoice, they start making payment. I do the same thing with each payment. I send a receipt. Now guys, each time when I say payment received, it actually pre-populates over onto my profit and loss. It goes in, sorry, not my profit and loss, it actually populates over my cash flow. So I can actually see, that's when it actually starts building up and accumulating the payments into so much revenue that I've made over a specific period, over a specific day or a month. Now the important thing about this is that all of my systems then correlate with each other. So the day that the payment is received in my bank will also then correlate to my invoicing app to say that if my invoicing app says, Lwando, for the month of July you made 10,000 Rand, my bank, my actual FNB bank account needs to also reflect the same amount of money. That is why I love my invoicing app, because I know by simply looking at my cash flow, I already have an estimate of how my bank account is looking. So I am on the free version of my invoicing app. I have not seen a need to upgrade to the subscription, and they did send an email a while ago just saying, guys, we will keep up with the free version. If you're happy to stay there, you can stay there, but obviously they do promote you to go on to the pay option so that the Wave company can also get money from you. So one last thing to add about the invoicing app, which I find helps me invoice client very fast, is that as much as I can add contact details or profiles for clients, I can also add packages, or I can add my equipment. So each time I have a service, each time I buy a piece of equipment, I add it to my invoicing catalog, to my catalog. This then allows me to, when I do have to send out a quote, I simply just go onto my phone and I can scroll down and select all the items that I want to add. Because they're already on the system, they already have the price, I just simply say quantity 2. The system will just pre-populate quantity 2 is now the value of so much. I can also do discounts to clients on my invoicing app. Absolutely efficient for me. I love it. And if you can get onto the Wave app, I'd encourage it. But if you are on a separate app and you're happy with it, do stay there. I'm not like a representative of Wave. I simply wanted to share the app that I use. Do let me know in the comment section if you also are on Wave and what your experience is on the Wave invoicing app. If you're on something else, do let me know, because obviously I would love to just know general what else are people using. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope this was helpful. I love you so much. Until next time, goodbye.